Dream it possible. Sounds delicious, doesn't it? The dreams that we have, the ideas that are deep inside of us that are starting to emerge, or maybe they've been pushing or pulling or prodding us for a while now, but it's time to self-actualize. It's time to look in the mirror and delight at what is seen there. It's to know that what's possible is whatever I think it is. Yeah. See, what we believe deep inside ourselves is the very fuel that will move us into the grandest, greatest, biggest vision that our life holds. And we all have it within us. We all have within us the ability for greatness. We all have it within us, a little something, something that we bring into life and into this world. No one else can do it the way we do it. And so it's essential that we self-actualize. And as we come to understand who we are and come to love and appreciate and honor, respect the journey that we're on, the gifts that we possess, and we begin to share that openly, honestly, and creatively in the world around us, we begin to create a collective actualization. You see, for every one of us that is lifted, everything is lifted. When I think of Andra Day's song, Rise Up, it's time to rise. It's time for us to stand in who we know ourselves to be and to release all the shoulda, woulda, couldas that have held us back, stopped us, blocked us, held us in this place of, I don't know, stuckness. I'm not sure that's a word, but okay. Stuck. Sometimes that feeling of being stuck is an opportunity to stop. Yeah. Stop trying to push water uphill. Stop trying to force the universe into compliance. And instead, to surrender into that aspect of self that is one with all life, one with source, one with the creator, one with God, spirit, universe, first cause, whatever name we want to give it, one with that. And as we live in that oneness, as we surrender and stop trying to force things and instead allow the moment to reveal itself, we begin to move forward in grace. And that truly is a beautiful thing. That's when not only our life becomes better, but life becomes better. The people around us begin to shine more and more as we begin to exude the greatness that lies within us. Now, I know many of us were told stories when we were little. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. This is good, that is bad. And so we've created a framework that we live in about good and bad, right and wrong, here and there. And what I want us to do in this moment is to relax into a higher understanding of life, our world, and the journey that we're on. You see, we're on a journey to self-actualize. And that only happens when we allow ourselves to be who we are, and we allow others to be who they are. That we develop curiosity about our own self, our journey, how we've got where we are, but we also become very curious about the people around us, those that we like and those that we don't, the people that we love, admire, and respect, and those that we question. But to come into a place of curiosity so we can begin to experience the allness, not only of ourselves, but of the people around us. You see, as we begin to actualize this divine presence, the world is transformed, not someday, but now. When we think of the idea of what it is that I can do in the world today, the sky's the limit. The scope of my thinking is the limit of my possibility for self-expression. So what is it you believe about you? What is it that you allow yourself to be in private moments and in public? Are you showing up as the real you? Are you moving from good to great to grand? Are you allowing that glorious self of yours to be fully seen and experienced in the world? Or are you holding back? You see, we are catalysts for change. But change does not come when we stand stuck in a moment where we're frozen in time. We must break through. We must rise up. Dream it into manifestation. Visioning is about allowing the divine to rise up inside of us. The visioning is not a visualization where I see something and I imagine it done. Visualization is I allow the beloved within me to reveal to me my next steps, and then I take them. Without reservation or hesitation, I step up and step in and rise up and allow myself to be seen and to be heard and to express. And as we do that, there's a huge transformation that occurs where we begin to create a world that is truly spectacular, but it comes from our spiritual convictions. It comes from that knowing that there is something within me far greater than my imagination can tap into. It's something beautiful and remarkable, and it's my time to live it, and it's yours as well. Ernest Holmes wrote, "What the world needs is spiritual conviction, followed by spiritual experience." And he said, "I would rather see a student of this science prove its principle than to have them repeat all of the words of wisdom that have ever been uttered." See, it's far easier to teach the truth than it is to practice it. Ooh, yeah, we know that, don't we? So this perspective allows us to develop an understanding, and it allows us to grow beyond our current experience or current understanding of life in the world with curiosity and imagination, with a sense of surrendering into that divine possibility. We can illuminate the gifts and talents that we have, that we can then bring them into manifest form. Not someday, but today. When I first had the idea to come to Toronto, it was a strong impulse. And over the years before I actually came here, it grew and became stronger and stronger. And when I finally made the leap, and it was a leap of faith, because I had $40 in my jeans, 2 suitcases of summer clothes, and a one-way plane ticket to Hamilton. I knew one person. That person lived in Oakville. Luckily, they picked me up in Hamilton and drove me to Toronto. Vision comes not with a fully laid out strategy and plan of how it's going to work. The vision comes, and we breathe life into it, and we move into a place of willingness to be what that vision suggests. And we surrender our doubt and our fear and our worry and all of the things that might stop or block us. We give up the thought that I have to be what my mom wanted me to be or what my dad wanted me to be, and I have to simply be me, self-actualized. That's what's required of each one of us. Not to be good according to somebody else's standard of what is goodness. Because remember, it really is simply perspective. What I think is good, somebody else might go, ooh, that's awful. I like to stand up and speak in public, and yet that's one of the greatest fears. Speaking in public. It's a greater fear than death, if you can imagine. I don't get it, but that's okay. I'm sure there's lots of people out there who do. So what we're doing is we're living our lives in a place of possibility and opportunity, curiosity, imagination. We're taking time to tap into that divine presence and allow it to speak through us. We're moving ourselves forward, knowing that our words, our actions, all of these things are propelling. And if we can really live from our full potential, we not only create a space of self-actualization for ourselves, but we actually create the collective actualization. You see, we're all thinking in and out of this very same subjective consciousness. And every thought creates. So I am either lifting consciousness or dragging it down by my own thinking. So I have within me, and you have within you, the potential for not only being good, not only being great, but grand, spectacular, remarkable. And we'll know we've arrived when there's a sense of peacefulness in all that we do, just a comfort and a relaxed energy, regardless of what the day looks like. It could show up all ruffled and chaotic, and yet somehow the peace within tends to slide us through it in an easy and comforting way. And there's life revealed. And everything changes. And as we move from good to great to grand, it's not an individual journey, it is a collective one. And it's a sacred act of creating space that allows people to be who they are, not who we want them to be or who we'd like them to be or the expectations we might hold of them, but rather they find themselves and show up as that. You see, each one of us is unique and special. And if I'm trying to be like you, I'm going to fail miserably. I must. Because you is already taken. It is time for us to move beyond the words that we speak and into the practice of being, not doing, being. And what does that involve? It involves being present now. I'm not thinking about what I'll have for lunch, what I'll do this afternoon, where I'll go later today. I'm here with you, present, being in this space. I'm in a space of receiving the good and the beautiful that's around me, of reshaping my convictions so that I can look through discord and find comfort, continuity, possibility, inspiration. I can look at the challenges that I face and the experiences that I'm having and see how it is moving me in a way that brings me to my greatest potential. Because sometimes we get knocked down, but sometimes we fall before we fly. Dream it possible. Embracing the self-expression and self-actualization of others is a powerful thing. When we can be with the people around us, and of course this happens when we can be with ourselves, because sometimes we're not all that comfortable with our own self. But as we become comfortable with ourselves, as we begin to love ourselves, as we let go of the past and stand in the moment, what happens is it becomes so much easier to receive those around us with the same level of grace. You see, a peaceful world doesn't happen because all chaos stops, all conflict stops. It's not how it happens. It happens because I choose it in the midst of chaos and conflict. And by choosing it, I've raised the vibration, not just for myself, but the collective as well. You see, everything we do, we are thinking in and out of this collective consciousness, and what we think has impact on it. And you might think, well, I'm only one person. What can I do? You are one person who is mighty powerful, because you have the presence, the power of the eternal one right here where you are, not out there somewhere for you to find it, to get it, to be appreciated by it, but it loves you. It is with you. It is being you. It is the cellular structure of your body. It is the activity of your mind. It is the world you are currently living in. And all that's required of you is to be it. Be who you are. You were created perfect, whole, and complete. And life has led us on a journey of, I don't know, instruction that maybe instructed us to be something we're not. Maybe we've been listening to others. We've been listening to people say who we should be, how we should be, what makes us good, what makes us acceptable. What if we are acceptable, just as we are, just as we were created? Imagine for a moment that you fall in love with yourself so deeply, so beautifully, so lovingly, that you not only find space in your mind and in your heart to honor and respect your own self, but you find space to honor and accept others, those you understand and those you don't, those that fit your perception of reality and those that might interrupt it. Knowing that all of it, everything that's happening is happening for good. And when we're all alone and no one's looking, who am I then? Who are you then? Are you living in that place of true acceptance and love and appreciation? Are you moving in a way that's authentic and honest to your values and your core? Are you living from a place of possibility and celebration? In order for us to create brave and safe spaces for others to self-actualize, it's not just words. It's about action, conscious action, seen and unseen. It's about creating a way to embrace our true self, which then allows us to have the strength to embrace others and their authentic self, to see through the facade of illusion, the questioning, the discomfort, and moving into true self-expression, not because somebody might like us, but because it's who we are. And having people like us is not the reason we're here. You see, we're all here to bring our own unique gifts into full expression. And we can't do that if we're living from somebody else's should. We're not doing that if we're trying to fit in. We're not doing that if we're hoping someone will come and rescue us. I am here to tell you that you are powerful. I am powerful. I'm here to tell you that you are creative. I am creative. And I'm here to tell you you are divine, as I am divine. So what the world needs now is spiritual conviction, backed up with spiritual experience. And so we take time in meditation. We take time in reflection, maybe journaling in moments of confusion, allowing ourselves to see beyond the current reality, to know that there's something bigger, brighter, more beautiful right on the horizon, that as we surrender into the divinity of who we are, we begin to open the doors, we begin to expand the possibility for a full life expression. Ernest Holmes in Creative Living wrote, "There's an irresistible potential pressing against everyone for self-expression." Go within yourself and find that place. See where it's pushing or prodding. Where is it moving you? Ralph Waldo Emerson said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. I invite you to accomplish your greatness. Let us go into a time of meditation. I invite you to just close your eyes if you're comfortable. Relax your body. Take a deep breath in. Feel your body relax. And drop your awareness into the very center, the core of your being, into your heart space. And as you breathe into this, imagine it as a golden light that fills that space and that is moving, circulating through your body, lighting up every cell. Lifting, expanding. And as you feel this dynamic energy, I invite you to relax into it and ask it a question. What is mine to do? What must I become to accomplish this doing? What must I be to fulfill my life path? And as I grasp that vision, I give it space to breathe, to become. I listen and I respond. And when doubt enters my mind, I kick it out and return to the place of possibility, acceptance. I choose life. I invite you to make a choice. I choose to be me fully, completely, without apology, with full-on acceptance. I invite you to do the same. Release the past. Forgive any heartache. And stand in this moment in your full potential and surrender it all into the grace and the goodness of Spirit.